長官ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよみんなブローキンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 92 with your AEW Full Gear pay-per-view review. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, man, I'm doing excellent here tonight. Yesterday was one of possibly the funnest time I've had at a wrestling event. Yeah, I know you didn't go with us to it, but the Forbidden Door was pretty fun as well. But this one might have actually taken the cake. A couple of those title changes were just absolutely incredible, and we'll get into it. But what did you think of all the wrestling events that you've been to? Was this on top for you?
It's close. It's very close.
I know, right?
I think I don't really want to get into thoughts yet, but I would say that this is probably a candidate for pay-per-view of the year. I think top to bottom, it's a really solid card with the worst matches on the card being good matches. And then I would say that for me, there was about 2 or 3 5-star matches on the card. But yeah, all in all, great show. It was my first pay-per-view I went to live, both AEW, WWE, and pro wrestling in general. So really special. Leading up to it, I mentioned a lot of times here on the podcast that it was going to be historic, and it definitely was that. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and get started, man. We did our prediction show before on Friday night after Rampage. What up, Miyaja? Welcome. And we're going to see who actually won the Broken Tables Predictions Championship once we get to the end of this here. I have no idea who won, I'm going to be honest. Even though I wrote down the predictions here, I still have no clue who came out the winner. This was a three-way dance between King Rome, myself, and Coach Nick. Nice. All right, so Rome will be doing the tallies as we go through here. And Rome, go ahead and get us started with the first match of 0 Hour.
All right, so open up the 0 Hour, we had the 10-man tag team match. The Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Rocky Romero, and their very evil, very mysterious partner versus the Factory.
Dude, this match was so fun. The way that they had only the 4 members of the Best Friends, and we didn't get, to the dark, mysterious, evil character till the end there. Everybody should know by now that it turned out to be Danhausen, but this seemed to be a different Danhausen. He had different entrance music. His cadences were a little different as well, and he had some blood on his mouth. And I do think his face paint was slightly different, but I'm not positive on that yet. I'll have to kind of compare the two.
Yeah, it was slightly different.
So this felt to me as if Danhausen now has an actual second persona. So you know how they say very nice and very evil? I feel like this is the very evil version. We've been seeing the very nice version the entire time he's been here, and he gets his ass kicked. I think this very evil version is a complete alternate, schizophrenia type thing. And it would be even better for me if the nice Danhausen doesn't remember what happens when the evil guy is in the ring. That would be one of the best things in the world to me.
Yeah, I thought this was a really fun opener to a pay-per-view. Putting this one out there on free, pretty much free everywhere. It was on YouTube to get people to buy in for the show. It was great to see Orange Cassidy on the card. Like you said, Danhausen with his special entrance and him just coming out with a different mentality, different mindset, different attitude. Thought it was a lot of fun. I'm one of those guys in the camp that thinks that QT does not suck. I think he may not have the best matches, but I think he's got it all up here, and he tells a really good story. And
Absolutely.
I thought what ensued was a very fun, very exciting, very evil 10-man tag.
Yeah, I loved this match. Danhausen was just the icing on the cake. He comes in and just wrecks house, destroys everyone, gets the pin. That was awesome. After the match, he beats up QT Marshall as well. I really enjoyed this new Danhausen gimmick, and I'm hoping it's not just his new personality. I hope it's a split personality, but I'll be okay with it either way, really. So Best Friends and Danhausen pick up the win here, and all three of us had the Best Friends and Danhausen winning, so we all get a point. All right, and what was the second match of the night for 0 Hour?
The second match for the 0 Hour was the World Title Eliminator Tournament semifinal, Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage.
This match was amazing as well. I've been waiting for this match for a long time, ever since Ricky Starks and Cage split up. And, they had that little stint there, but it's been a long time that Cage has been gone, and I've been wanting to see him back in the ring with Ricky for a long time, and this was awesome to see live.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have a lot of chemistry, a lot of history. I mean, that type of situation always leads to really good matches, and I agree. I thought this was also a really good match, pretty strong. You could see that these guys, hey, Purple, what's up? I could see that these guys have a lot of fun working together. There's a spot that I saw. So Brian Cage goes for the pin, Ricky kicks out, and Brian's kind of sitting there. Ricky's like laying behind him. Ricky just goes and just slaps him on the back of the head. Brian didn't sell it. It wasn't like a move to hurt. The Coog is returned. Good evening, Coog. He says fantastic pay-per-view, worth every cent. Indeed.
Completely agree, Mr. Coog. I couldn't have said that any better myself, actually. Worth every cent. We paid what, 100 and something each for that?
Yeah, a little over 100 for the tickets. Although, quick issue with the Prudential Center, right, Jeff? And you were there, and so was Purple. We gotta talk about the Prudential Center real quick. How you doing, Jeff?
I was doing all right until you mentioned this Prudential Center thing. Now I remembered,
So a few things that kind of really bug me about the Prudential Center. You might have some separate issues. These issues have nothing to do with AEW. They have strictly to do with the fact that it's fucking New Jersey. Okay, so Prudential Center, right? We get there. We decide we're gonna get food, Jeff, right? So we go up to the food stand. How the hell do they have chicken tenders at the one stand and tater tots and not French fries? Now the Prudential Center had French fries, but you had to go to the burger place to get the fries. You couldn't get the combo with chicken tenders, French fries, and a drink. You would have to get the chicken and the tots and the drink. I know Purple for a fact is very upset about this. So I just wanted to mention it because I also was not the biggest fan. I settled for tater tots, but definitely.
Let me explain this a little more so people can actually picture this. So it was basically one stand, right? There's one stand for food where everybody back there can walk the entire way. You know what I mean? Like there's no wall in between the two stands. One of them was cheeseburgers and French fries, and then the other one was chicken and tater tots. And they were literally standing right next to each other, and they could have just looked at each other and been like, can I get a French fry or can I get a tater tot? But they were like, no, you can't have the French fries with the chicken. And it was just like, what on earth sense does that make at all? Like
they were literally operating in the same kitchen.
That's what I mean. So like, imagine going to McDonald's.
There was no divide at all.
Yeah, imagine McDonald's telling you, sorry, you can't order fries with your chicken nuggets, like only with your cheeseburger. That's basically what happened.
Right.
It was so weird.
And then my other issue, the speakers hang a little low there, so it kind of blocked the screen for us in the 100 level. And
Yeah, you
also
could see that in the videos.
the sound not super good. You know, it's kind of crazy. Maybe I'm just spoiled being at good Philly venues where you can hear everything. But it's like I've been at the Wells Fargo Center. Their sound system's pretty damn good. You can hear anything the entire building. But like there were a few times last night where we were in the Discord like, "Hey coach, what did that promo say?" Because couldn't fucking hear it.
Yeah, so the Takeshita, when they announced that he had been signed, we didn't hear a word of that. We had no idea what they said. I think it was some guy next to us was like, "Oh, hey, they signed Takeshita." That's what that was about.
The Coog is asking what was the total number of broken tables? Well, we are going to reveal that later because that is our
Yep,
bonus point.
that is one of our bonus points. Yep.
This-
All right. So
Anyway,
again for this Ricky Starks match, Ricky Starks did pick up the win after a really tough, Brian Cage beating like always. That dude is he is an absolute machine. Brian Cage is amazing. Ricky Starks picks up the win, and we all did pick Ricky Starks, so we all get a point.
so my big issue here, right, and I mentioned it on the Friday pod, I mentioned it on the Wednesday pod. It is such a missed opportunity. You had some time. Like I guess they gave the next match enough time, but like they were left with about 10 minutes on the 0 hour to kill after the Eddie Kingston match. Just do the Ethan Page match there. Do it right after Ethan came out. Have him be like, you know what? No, I want you right now. Come on, Ricky, take the challenge. Do it now. Ricky says, yeah, let's do it. And you do it, and you put Ricky Starks over because, as we know later in the night, there is now a need for very strong babyface characters to be ready for the main event scene. Um, and we are going to need that. So, I mean, obviously, it'll be okay. Ricky gets his challenge on Wednesday. I still would have done it tonight. I think, you could have even done it where he gets like a fluke victory, like a roll up or something. I would have had him work his way through both Brian Cage and Ethan Page tonight.
Yeah, yep. I agree. I do think that there may be some truth to the injury stuff with Ricky Starks, you know what I mean? So maybe that's possibly what is truthfully forcing this. But if it's not, I agree. This all we should have been seeing that Ethan Page match, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so we're all tied up here. Next match, I believe was the Eddie Kingston and the Akiyama,
Yep.
right?
Eddie Kingston versus Jun Akiyama.
Yeah.
Dream match for Eddie. Really awesome match. Just a really great match. You can tell this is Eddie's dream match. He said it was his dream match. But prior to the pay per view, he said that Jun Akiyama, amongst others, their Japanese wrestling tapes, saved his life. And it was extremely important. The Kook saying that Takeshita is a huge get for AEW. Guy is the future. Cannot wait for Takeshita versus Bandito. Dude, I can't wait for that match. That's a match I'm very
Oh,
excited for. That's gonna be just crazy, just a freaking crazy match. But yeah, Takeshita, huge signing. The guy's special. Like I don't know where he's going to focus his career. I mean, some guys do the States. So, he might go back to Japan. I think he's going to be a top guy wherever he ends up.
yeah, he's incredible, and this match was amazing here tonight. I love Eddie Kingston, man. I don't know if you caught me, but purpleness definitely caught me when Eddie was crying, dude. It fucking got me, bro. I was
Oh yeah,
trying to hide. I was like, oh yeah, there's something in my eye. But
yeah. No, I
dude,
remember I saw that. And then when Judas and I were heading home, it's like, yeah, just so you know, Jeff did cry tonight.
damn it. I don't know how you couldn't, man. That Eddie Kingston moment was
No,
intense, man. It was a really, really good moment, and to be there live for that was kind of special for me. So
yeah, I really do completely agree with you. I mean, it was so important to him, so special to him. You could just tell. I was also getting a little choked up. It was a beautiful moment for him, and he thanked everyone that was there. Um, and Eddie just, yeah, again, it was just back and forth, great match. Just it was a free match that they gave out. You watch the other guys' pre-show and the other company's pre-show, and they sit there and they talk for 3 hours and play the same three video packages.
yeah, yeah.
So you can't really compare the two. Um, but yeah, this was a great match. The Eddie Kingston ends up picking up the win. Um, but overall, yeah, I love this match. I thought that this was definitely the best match on the 0 hour. But just all around the fantastic match.
Yeah, it was great. That was great. All right. Was that it for the 0 hour?
That was
That was, yeah.
did everybody pick Kingston for this?
Everybody did pick Eddie Kingston for that one. Yes, we all got a point for that one. Sorry, I almost thought it was like a given.
Yeah. Purple saying she was talking to me about how emotional of a person Eddie Kingston was, and we looked over and Jeff was crying.
Yeah.
See, I'm a very like reserved. Like I get choked up a lot, but you don't see me like I won't shed the tears. I don't know why. I'm just a very reserved person. Like, but I get emotional. So,
Yeah,
but,
and
you know,
I'm
the
not
thing
sure
is
how
always,
much of that was caught on camera, you know what I mean? Like there was a good 2 minutes after the match where he was like making the crowd cheer for Akiyama, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he got
I'm
down
pretty
and bowed
sure
to him.
I'm pretty sure that was all on there because he also talked about like, hey, people at home, why have you bought this pay-per-view? Like, what's wrong with you?
Okay.
Um,
It was great.
Oh yeah, it was a great promo by Eddie post match. The Coug absolutely loved the respect Eddie paid to Akiyama at the end. Love when legends are respected. Same thing occurred when Penta bowed to Villano for after taking his mask at Triple Mania last month. Absolutely,
Ooh.
respecting the legends is important.
I'm glad the Coug just reminded me by saying taking his mask here. I've been wanting to throw something out, and you know, it's amazing that the Coug is now part of the chat. For his answer is actually going to be one of the ones that I would like to hear the most. I've had an idea for a championship in kind of like the luchador division, if that makes any sense, of a golden mask. So like instead of wearing a belt or something like that, the champion wears a golden mask, and like that's this, you know, I just had the idea come to me one day, and it doesn't seem like that great, but I feel like it would be really cool if it was done right.
I think the reasoning they wouldn't do that is because for a luchador, your mask is so important. It would be like wearing somebody else's mask, so that's why I don't think they would do something like that. That's just
Well, you know how they like change the belts with the little plates on the side for
no, yeah.
certain people? Like maybe they got their own mask would be made golden or something, you know? And I don't know. It just was something that popped into my head, and I thought it'd be pretty cool.
I don't know. I'd like to hear the Kook song, but like I said, to my knowledge, I feel like the wrestlers would want to do their own masks because also, if only
Yeah,
one guy's mask can be gold, then nobody else's mask can have gold on it. I think that could.
true. Yep, I got you.
That's just from an outsider's take, but
Yeah, no worries. I just, just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot about it because I've had it in the head for like a month.
yeah, absolutely. So afterwards, we get to the main card, the main pay-per-view for Full Gear. And we get a absolute banger of an opener. We get a steel cage match: Jungle Boy
Oof.
Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. Um,
So I
sorry.
think it was the Coug that said this is going to be a bloody match, and I was kind of just like, oh, maybe. And sure enough, man, what was it? 2 minutes in?
Yep.
That was why I loved this. It was amazing.
The shot that they got of Jack bleeding was just really well done, and it was also a really good job by them in the ring to get that color coming out that way. I mean, they I looked up on the screen for that shot because obviously they were doing it towards the other side of the ring, the hard cam. And you could just see the blood literally just like pouring out very what's the word I'm looking for? Meticulously. And
Oh,
then again, great job to the cameraman for getting that shot of like the blood like dripping off the cage.
dude, it was
Very
wild how it went. The way he was pushing his face into the cage, it like dripped down his forehead, and then it went over the metal of the cage, and then like back onto his face. Like it was. I don't know if you could have done that better if you had a second try. You know what I mean?
yeah. So for me, this was a 5-star match. I thought that this was just an excellent match. Probably my favorite steel cage match. It's definitely tied for the Young Bucks Lucha Bros cage match from last year. I think that was also Full Gear. Yeah, that was also Full Gear.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh man,
Um, Kook said, never thought of that. Intriguing for sure. Love the idea, to be honest. They can wear the gold mask into the ring and take it off under their real mask.
that's perfect. Yeah, have their real mask underneath.
Yeah. But so yeah, I
See?
think that this match was just really just well done. Great story being told here between Jack and Luchasaurus. At some point, Christian Cage gets the keys from the ref in a very comedic fashion, unlocks the door, which case the brawling, comes outside the ring for a little bit. Um, they fought it out, and Luchasaurus ends up grabbing some chairs and a table and throwing them into the ring. Um, So interesting, Jeff. I want to get your take on this because there were some guys behind us at Full Gear last night, and they one of the guys very opinionated. I would describe him as somewhat of a little like a different thinker in a sense that like some of the traditional WWE norms, he was kind of like, well, why are they doing it this way? You know, when WWE does it this way.
Yeah.
And one of them was steel cage, with the cage not meaning escape the cage to win.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. I think that it's a fantastic idea. The idea of escaping the cage to win, I think, is kind of cheesy now. When I
Yep.
was a kid, I
I've
didn't
always hated it.
like.
I
Yeah,
was like,
like,
why would you get rewarded for running away from your opponent? I've never liked it.
yeah, or not even just that, but like why? Like you get into a steel cage because of like a rivalry. Like there should be a reason for the steel cage. So why would you like you want to be put into a steel cage with your opponent? So why
Yeah.
would you in turn be like, I got to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Like the whole point of the cage match is that you're trapped in there with them and you're gonna beat the crap out of each other.
The
Um,
whole point, most of the time, it's to stop the heel from running away. Because every time, like, the heel does something dastardly and then runs away.
yeah,
So it's like, next time we're doing this in a cage where you can't run from me. And then it's like, well, one of the ways you can win is to run from you. No, no. I hate it. But yeah, I did hear the guys behind us talking. So as soon as they stepped out of the cage, he was kind of like, what the heck are they doing? He's like, they just ruined a cage match. And I said to myself, you know what? I bet you by the end of this, you're not going to remember that you even said that. You know what I mean? I kind of said that in my head.
yeah,
And dude, after that match, he was like, oh my God, that was amazing. So
yeah,
I think they proved him wrong. He said that they ruined it. They proved him wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, definitely. I just thought it was funny. I remember it from last night. Obviously, we're doing this show without notes tonight because we were there. But that was something that stuck out in my mind leading into that match and going through it. Um, so during this match, big noticeable spot because it does affect our predictions show. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus are fighting. Jack Perry lays Luchasaurus out on a table. Jack climbs up to the top of the cage and drops an elbow on Luchasaurus, breaking the table, and also setting up for the snare trap, in which case Jungle Boy Jack Perry picks up the win against Luchasaurus.
Dude, I've been to quite a few wrestling shows now. I mean, quite a few is going to sound crazy to some people. It's like 5 or 6, you know what I mean? I think I've been to like maybe 5, 6, or 7 different shows, 2 pay-per-views. This cage match, seeing a cage match like that live was completely different than seeing it on television, man. Like that was watching him climb to the top. I've seen guys climb to the top of the cage on TV a million times, and every time I'm just kind of like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Live, I legit had like butterflies in my stomach for him. I was like, "Oh my god, I might see someone, get injured." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was wild to see in person. Did you feel like that?
Oh, absolutely. I took a video and some pictures of it. I don't really taking a lot of pictures and videos for like live events. I think I've told the story on the pod before, but I went to a Green Day concert once, and Billy Joe, the lead guitarist and singer for Green Day, he was like, "Everybody, put your fucking phones away. Like, live in the moment. Like, you could literally Google my picture at this show, and it's on Google. Like, build the memory of looking at us and listening to our music, not looking at your phone, looking at us."
Yeah.
That really always resonated me. So I don't take a lot of pictures or videos at these events, but like that was something I really just felt the need to take a quick video of Jack being on top of the cage. Like I was like holding it kind of like this and watching it like this. Um, but yeah, the just really freaking cool moment for Jack Perry. The media scrum that happened afterwards, he was kind of talking on there, and you could see that growth of a character. And he kind of thanks Jim Ross a little bit for bringing out, the Jack Perry name. At first, he didn't seem like he didn't really like it, but now he understands it, and he doesn't want to just be Jungle Boy. He wants to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And it's just the evolution of his character. This was a huge arc. A really common theme for me last night was this felt like the ending of an arc in AEW's history. The last arc being
That's a really good way to put it. I like that.
yeah, like last night was the ending of an arc, and now we're going to see on Wednesday the beginning of the next arc of the company. Um, and Jack Perry is going to be a big part of um this next arc. He was talking about last night the media scrum. He talks about He's like, man, when I debuted in AEW, like I was like pretending to eat bugs out of people's hair. Like that's where I was. I was like
Yeah.
a wild jungle boy.
I like how he was like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. Just the
Yeah.
way he said that.
But so like there was some finality here. Even Jack said during the media scrum, he's like, I'm done with Luchasaurus. I still have to be Christian Cage when he comes back, but for now I can set my sights on something else.
Yeah.
So I thought that this was just fantastic. Who did everybody pick Jack Perry for this, or what was
Everybody did pick Jack Perry, yes.
Okay.
Now, real quick before we get to our next match, I'm sure everybody saw me looking down at my phone here. I just got an alert from YouTube. The Danhausen entrance video just passed 5,000 views.
Nice.
And it actually gets 30% of the people that see it to click on it. That's actually not bad at all.
Oh, that's pretty damn good. In the chat, let's catch up with the Coog a little bit. He's saying Jack Perry bled less than 10 minutes into the match. Jim Ross and Taz threw out an Iron Mike Sharp reference with Christian's arm sleeve. Love the historical connection there. That's great. That's the one thing about being there live that does kind of suck is you don't get the great work from the commentators, unfortunately.
Did Iron Mike Tyson get his nickname from Iron Mike Sharp?
I don't know. That sounds like something you could.
I was gonna say that sounds like a job for the Coog. He
he
reminds me of the. Sorry, his name reminds me of the South Park character with Cartman the Coon. That's like one of my favorite things in South Park.
So the Coog also said Jack Perry's dive last night reminded me of Ray Fenix's dive at All Out last year when they won the titles from the Bucks. Oh, maybe it was All Out then that last cage match was.
Yeah.
Big spots for the biggest shows. Exactly, man.
Definitely.
That was actually on our way home. Julas and I were talking about the amount of pay-per-view shows AEW does a year, and I was like, man, just leave it at 4 and do Forbidden Door to make it 5. Like, you don't need to do a pay-per-view every 2 months. Like, let these big shows feel like big shows, and I think that's 4 plus the Forbidden Doors.
Rally's the big show. I'm sorry.
Jeff's favorite wrestler.
All right. What was our next matchup after the Jungle Boy Jack Perry victory?
Next up, we had the AEW World Trios Championship match, the Elite versus Death Triangle. Very eventful match. Number one, let's start with the entrance by the Elite. Fucking incredible. I've watched it 3 times since I got home, and I've played Carry On My Wayward Son literally 7 times today.
It's really funny that when we heard about that that patent that they were trying to take out or copyright they were trying to take out on Wayward Sons, I was just goofing around being like, oh, they want that song, you know what I mean? I was like, it's going to be expensive. And then in Discord, I was like, oh, they dropped the copyright. They couldn't afford the song. And Kansas let them use it anyway, dude. I was just like, I was joking.
Yeah. Well, so funny thing is during the media scrum, they asked Tony Khan about it, and Tony Khan said, sometimes they're really difficult. People are really difficult to deal with when you're trying to get rights to things. But he was like, no, Kansas was completely fucking cool. They were really down for us using the song, and it was very pleasant to deal with them. Kansas, the band, actually tweeted today. They tweeted at the Young Bucks hashtag AEW, and then like the buck emoji, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like even Kansas was like, yeah, man, it's fucking cool. And you know what? This entrance was so good, and it may be one of my favorite live entrances that I've ever been in a building for. There's a lot of emotion, and like I said, last night was setting a reset. I'm going to be saying that a lot in this pay-per-view review show, because it really is. This was the end of the arc. This is the next chapter, and you get the Elite back for the next chapter. Like, All Out happened. I was talking to a buddy today, and All Out, like, he admitted, he's like, yeah, All Out kind of really, like, the Brawl Out really sucked it out of me, and I haven't been watching much. I'm keeping tabs. He checks us out here on the Broken Tables podcast. But he's like, generally speaking, he's like, it's not like, I know it's good. I've just been kind of feeling like a little beaten down by it. And I told him, it's like, man, you got to let that go. You got to let it go, and you got to move on. We all got to move on. And the Elite are back. Maduja saying he's so glad the Elite are back. And it's just, yeah, special. Maduja also was asking, are they going to use the song theme from now on, or is it just a one-off? So during the media scrum, Tony was asked about it, and while talking about how great Kansas was to work with, He said that they will probably use it again in the future, but it will not be an every week thing. So maybe like every pay-per-view.
Gotcha.
The Coug saying Death Triangle versus the Elite are eternal enemies, and they always deliver since day one in AEW 2019. Love them all. Kenny, Penta, and Phoenix are his top 3 favorites in AEW. Yeah, man, like that's just those are day one rivalries. You got Kenny and Pac, and you got the Bucks and the Lucha Bros. Just phenomenal. And tonight, that match or last night, excuse me, that match was just that's a 5-star match. That was just fucking incredible. I love that match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are I think those are Purpleness's top 3 as well. Jericho might push Penta out of there, but yeah, I think those are her favorites as well.
Yeah. But so we got an excellent match out of this. Really recommend watching it if you haven't. It's just a fucking phenomenal match. Unfortunately, Pac finally gets through to Ray Phoenix, and Ray Phoenix uses the hammer on Kenny Omega and picks up the win. I couldn't tell if Penta knew by the end of the match. So that's again it's kind of a negative of being at a live show. You don't know. You don't have the commentators there to kind of give you some of these little, like, oh, we're pushing you in the right direction type things.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Penta's going to stand with this. If Penta's going to turn heel as well, if he's going to do it too. But I thought that this was an excellent match. I didn't really agree with the finish at first, but then Tony fucking Khan, Jeff, this motherfucker, he really. We're sitting there towards the end of the show, and they show the Dynamite lineup for next week, and they announced that Death Triangle and the Elite are doing a best of 7 series for the trio titles, and I'm just like,
So yeah, your face is what it's going on inside my brain. Like, so a lot of times, like even with like I'm like mixing my words here. So you know how with Swerve, In Our Glory, and the Acclaimed, it's been 3 matches, and everyone's pretty much saying like, listen, we need to be done with these guys. That's the rubber match. We're good. These guys could wrestle a million times, and every single time I'll be sitting there waiting for it. You know what I mean? Like the best of 7 series. These guys have already wrestled probably five times since we've seen AEW become a thing. And
yeah.
I will never ever get bored of these 2 trios facing each other in an AEW ring. Never.
Yeah, there's something about a best of 7 series in wrestling. You really need to have 2 guys or 2 units that are going to be able to go that distance because you are asking a lot of them. They are going to be wrestling almost every week for the rest of the year except for 2 weeks. The week before Winter is Coming, there's no match. And then the week of Wrestle Kingdom, there's no match. There's a reason for that, which I will talk about. Actually, right now is a good time. Kenny Omega has fucking challenged Will Ospreay for the IWGP US title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Dude, that was one of the coolest freaking videos that I have ever seen. I'm going to try to find that and see if we can play it. I don't know if I can play it actually. Yeah, no, never mind. If you want to see it,
Go to New Japan socials.
Yes.
Kenny cuts 90% of the promo in Japanese. It's just the fucking badass. Just so badass. There's the coach. The coach made it. He's here. Coach is here for his title match. He's made it. He is in the building.
Yeah, what up, Coach? Well, we're all tied at the moment. I don't know how many points we all have, but we are tied, correct?
Yeah, we're tied 4 apiece right now with 1 broken table on the night so far.
Yes, 1 broken table.
Just 1 broken table.
You got so lucky. All right, now, with this one, we did announce the winner of this, right?
Yeah, so we did announce that Death Triangle won. What were the picks for this?
So Rome and Coach Nick both had the Elite. I myself had chosen Death Triangle to retain. And I even said, I was like, I'm pretty sure Pac's going to hand the hammer to Phoenix and he is going to use it. I'm not asking for any extra points or anything, but.
No, I understand. Yeah, Coach, hang out with us, see who wins, and then go back and catch the beginning of the show. It was a pretty good start to the show.
Oh, it's perfect timing. I just jumped into the lead, Coach.
Yeah, he just jumped. It's okay. There's still plenty of matches to go. We're not done yet. Purple saying that she's liking Kenny a lot. Hasn't gotten to see him wrestle much because he was out most of the time when she was watching AEW. Yeah, well, Kenny Omega is fantastic.
Yeah, I'll actually make something for you to see, Purple. I'll go get some of his Wrestle Kingdom matches against Okada and Jay White. Oh, jeez.
The main event is also Jay White versus Okada. I might have to I might buy a New Japan paper.
That's gonna be nuts, dude.
Yeah, I mean FTR is expected to be there. Coach says, "Got to stop picking with my heart." No, so Coach, I'll argue this, right? I would say that if they weren't doing a best of 7 series, the Elite winning would have been the way they would have went here. But doing the best of 7 series, that's why. So I don't think you made a bad pick. I don't think it was a bad head pick. I don't think so. But yeah, this is an excellent match, and we are going to get the next match 2, on Wednesday on Dynamite.
Oh wait, so that was considered match 1?
Yeah, so that match was match 1. So Death Triangle has a 1-match lead over the Elite.
Okay. That's okay. That's what makes this loss make sense for the Elite. All right, perfect. No worries.
Exactly. If anything, Jeff, you were the one that was picking with your heart, and you just happened to luck into a point.
No, if I was picking with my heart, I think I would have gone with the Elite, man. I was waiting for them to come back. I think, remember what I said is like, it seems too predictable for Tony to just hand them the belts back. That's kind of what I was going with. But, all right, I'm up by 1. Amazing match. I can't say that enough. That might have been my match of the night, man. Like, seeing that in person, I'll remember that forever.
Yeah, again, that was a 5-star match. That entrance had me. The way you got emotional with the Eddie thing, I was getting emotional with the Elite because it's just like, man, I just this company AEW, it's given me so much as a fan and gives me so much enjoyment, and I feel like it respects my time. And I've said it a million times. It's the wrestling promotion made for me. If God took a wrestling promotion and just made it and took the pieces of the wrestling world and threw it together, like this is about as good as it gets. And so to see the Elite back in AEW was just fucking special. The Bucks, I'm very excited to announce that the Bucks on Instagram revealed that they will be returning. BTE will be returning tomorrow at noon. So get fucking hyped for that.
Hell yeah.
I'm very excited. I love BTE very much.
Oh, I can't wait for BT. I've been waiting for weeks for that.
Yeah, me too. That was a big loss to my Monday routines. All right. Let's see here. Next up, we had the TBS Championship match, Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose.
All right. So, this is probably the one match of the night that I was most disappointed in. Purple's actually a big Jade fan, and she even said to me, she was like, that was not a good match. And I was like, no, it wasn't. But it was okay. She got her belt back. She looked incredible as Chitara from Thundercats. It was kind of funny because everybody around us was like, who is she? What is she dressed as? And like, it hit me for some reason. I was like, oh, she's Chitara from Thundercats. That was an amazing cosplay.
It was the knee pads. We were looking at the knee pads.
Yes, the knee pads. I saw the Thundercat symbol. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because we were both talking about trying to figure it out. I was like, I don't know, orange, yellow. Like it looks like she has black spots on her thighs. And then we both saw the knee pads. I was like, I think that's the Thundercat. So she must be Chitara. Because then I put it together where I was like, oh yeah, because Chitara has the black spots on her thighs as well. Because she's a cheetah.
But yeah, the Coog just said it. That entrance for Nyla and Vicky was right out of Eddie Guerrero's, wheelhouse. That was really cool. Marina Shafir had the Cholo shirt on, the black and white flannel with the one button up at the top. It was they put some thought into it, and it was really, really, really good.
Yeah, so again, special show. There was a lot of great moments that I'll remember for a long time, and I just thought, having Vicky come out on a lowrider, see, I don't want to be the one that gets emotional this time. I'm getting a little choked up thinking about it because when Eddie passed all those years ago, man, I'll never forget that day. I was so devastated that day when he passed. I found out at school, like I was in middle school, and it sucked because my friends and I, we were really good friends with one of the teachers because he was like a younger teacher, like so he was like cool. He was a cool teacher. He was in all like video games and stuff that the kids were into. So we were actually able to like eat lunch in his office or in his room. And we would just go on the school computers during our lunch break. And like I remember just going on WWE.com because that's what I did in sixth grade. And they were like, "We're sorry to announce that Eddie Guerrero's passed," and I was just like, "This can't be real. This can't be fucking real."
So
Um, and I just
I
remember
will
walking
admit,
home that
I will
day.
admit this. Back when I was a huge WWE mark as a little kid, I actually watched Sunday Night Heat like
Oh yeah,
every Sunday night with my
oh,
dad.
absolutely. I
And I
love
remember
Sunday.
having a specific conversation with him. He was like, Eddie Guerrero, he died, and he's like, he's not going to be there tonight. And he was like my favorite dude at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh
he believed he was having a main event on Sunday Night Heat. I don't remember against who or anything, but like,
no,
there's like
it was a
this.
pay per view. I think it was a pay per
Was,
view.
I thought it
It
was
was
before a Sunday Night Heat. He was scheduled for one of those Sunday Night Heat things.
no,
I
he
could be
no showed
wrong,
a
but
SmackDown. I think, if I recall correctly, if somebody could look it up real quick and fact check,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he no showed a SmackDown. It was either a SmackDown or a pay. No, Chris Benoit was a pay per view. Chris
yeah.
Benoit no showed a pay per view. Eddie was on SmackDown
He was
because he was
supposed to be
heading.
on. So yeah,
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be at the pay per view, but he died Saturday morning.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He passed
But
away
yeah,
after
I just
SmackDown. They
remember
did a
my dad
promo with
telling me, and I was
Batista.
just kind of like so sad.
Yeah, yeah, all around it doesn't, the details are the details, but it sucked. But to see Vicky come out with the "I'm Your Mommy" shirt in a lowrider, like that really tugged at the heartstrings, and that was really fucking cool. I thought Nyla's entrance was really cool. She had the Assassin's Creed gear on. I'm just gonna say it. Marina Shafir, the Cholo look, fucking fantastic. I was like, she
Yeah, I
looks
thought it was
great.
great.
She looked amazing. I was like, can Marina Shafir change her gimmick a little bit to just be this?
Yeah, if people wouldn't, be like, oh, cultural appropriation or whatever, I think it would be great. I would be perfectly fine with it.
I still think it's a great look regardless.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Coach Nick says, by the way, Jeff just got our first dub in Warzone. Come on, bro, you're out there getting them without me.
I got mine the other day too. I was super hyped. I'm gonna
Dude,
tell the story tomorrow because tomorrow is the Game Room podcast
yeah,
where
yeah,
we will be reviewing Modern Warfare 2. So I'm gonna save the story.
yeah.
Um, I'm your mommy throwback to when they said Dominic was their kid. Well, it was the throwback to the "I'm your poppy" shirt. Yeah. Um, yeah, which is what Coach said. Yeah, I do remember those shirts that Eddie wore. That was really cool. He's like, "I'm your papi, orale." But yeah, so the entrances were fucking awesome. I thought this match was fine. Like, I didn't have like, is it the worst match on the card? Yeah. Um, but I didn't really
Yeah,
have an issue with it per se. I thought that the story they told worked. It was all about Jade kind of getting back at Nyla for all of the trolling and all the shit she's been giving her. I would have liked to have seen, like you said, the match could have been a little bit better in some places. I think Nyla maybe getting a little bit more offense would have been great. Um, but for what it was, I was fine with it. I had such a good time with the entrances themselves that for me that actually elevated the match a little bit. So I'm cool with it. It was fine.
yeah. It could have definitely been better. That's all I can say.
Madu just said, "Wait, was that Marina Shafir?" I didn't even. Yeah, it was. It was Marina Shafir. It was a good look. I actually saw it also. I think Nyla tweeted it that like later in the night when I was driving. When Juhouse was driving us home. I was looking on Twitter and I saw it. I was like, that's a great picture. She looks really. That's a good look for her. Instead of like the hoodie where she's like all like
Yeah,
like
she's not Shayna
she
Baszler.
looks
That's all
more
I'll say.
intimidating and looks more like she could fuck you up like last night. Like she just
Yeah,
looked.
she's trying to do like this Shayna Baszler thing, and she just doesn't have that mean look face to pull that off.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that.
And that
It was,
music, dude, I don't know what it is, but that just a violin playing for somebody who's supposed to be all angry and tough looking, like that makes no sense to me.
the violin's not a problem. I don't think the violin is the problem with the
I don't
problem.
think that's a problem. It just to me, I'm like, she could use something better, you know.
No, what she's going for is she is going for that traditional classic straight laced I'm just gonna fucking fight you like and just mess you up
Yeah.
thing. Like I like the music. I think the music's fine. I just want to see her work on her overall presentation a little bit. But I think she's
Yeah.
good. She definitely has the bone, like the foundation for really good work is there. She definitely has talent.
Yeah, and that's a good point by the Coug that they had to follow that Death Triangle Elite match, and that's
Yeah.
tough for anybody to follow.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. You got to kind of take that into account. I mean, I think that, for example, I think the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory took a huge hit for being that where it was on the card too. I still thought it was a good match, but I was out of it. I was gassed.
Okay. Coach says she didn't have the violin last time. I actually must have missed that. Okay.
Okay. The Coug says, agree with Coach. Jade had to work hard to win this match. Little adversity is always good. I completely agree. But yeah, all around, I thought it was fine. Didn't really have too many issues with it. Who picked who for this? I feel like I already know.
All right. So it looks like all of us chose Jade, so we all get a point for this one.
All right. So Coach and I have 5 points. Jeff, you have 6 points.
Maintain the lead.
For now.
All right. Next up
is the four-way dance for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Sammy Guevara. Man, another one. This was another excellent match. I just thought this was just so good. Such a great match. Love the storylines being told here. Love the dynamic. You got, you think you got Chris and Sammy working together against Claudio and Danielson, and you think that's going to hold up. Eventually, it doesn't. Sammy gets tired of kind of doing what Jericho wants him to do. The final straw for Sammy was Jericho hits a lion salt on, I believe, Danielson and Sammy. I mean, he just didn't care that Sammy was there. He just wants to hit the move and get the win. Purple said, I just want to remind everyone when this podcast started, I said Jade was going 50-0. LOL.
Dude, she did, bro. We could probably go back to like episode like 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
And remember the one where we were doing the rankings, the tier lists, and we put her in A and Purple was all angry saying she should be in the S. I believe that's when she said she was going 50, and I do remember that.
Yeah. I mean, Jade needed more time to get there. I don't know if Jade's Jade's very close now, if not. But it is what it is. But this four-way dance, man, just an excellent match with a lot of great stories being told. Eventually, like I said, Sammy gets tired of Jericho's shit, and they start fighting. Sammy kind of looks like he's about to pick up the win on a few occasions, in which case Claudio and Danielson kind of shut him down, and then they fight for a little bit. Just all around a great four-way dance. Let's check out what chat is saying. Meduja saying Jericho's killing it with this title. Meduja also said, wouldn't mind if he held it for a whole year. Purple said S-Class. The Coug said, great four-way match. Everybody was for themselves, and I loved it. Coach is also right, though. If Statlander never got hurt, Jade's run would have probably been done.
Yeah.
It's probably true. But yeah, Jeff, I absolutely love this match. What did you think of this match?
I thought this was incredible. It had one of my favorite moments in a match for quite a while here. When Claudio Castagnoli and Danielson realized that they were both in the ring together and they had just kicked the shit out of both of the other guys, they kind of looked at each other, they shook each other's hand, and then they just beat the living crap out of each other in a freaking hockey fight. That was one of my favorite moments in this whole pay-per-view. I absolutely loved that spot right there because, I mean, I think Danielson's one of your favorites. He's definitely one of mine. Like, it was so awesome to see that.
Yep. Now, Jeff, it would seem that, if I recall correctly, I think this match is so far on par with everything I said would happen. And I think it might still be leading to everything I said will come to pass. If I'm not mistaken, Chris Jericho picked up the win here.
Yes, he did.
So let's see, it looks like Jericho, who did he beat specifically? Let's see. I think it was Claudio, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Claudio. Jericho beat Claudio after a Judas effect while Claudio was swinging Sammy. Really cool finish. What about the points, Jeff? Let's talk about the points. Who picked who?
All right, so Rome, you had chosen Chris Jericho, so you are getting a point for this one. Coach Nick and myself both chose Sammy Guevara, so looks like you and I are now tied, and Coach is one behind us.
Yep. Still plenty of game though. Still plenty of game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're tied up. I'm not too worried.
I'm talking more so about the coach. Coach is behind, so he's got opportunity still. I think coming up. But yeah, this is an excellent match. Just another great match on the card. I would say this is pretty damn close to a. I would say it's like a 4 and 3/4. Like it was very good. Very, very, very good match.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Next up, we had the returning Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Coach Nick said, "I thought Sammy was still going to sneak it out."
Oh, coach, they faked us out so good. Like what we said was gonna happen was so close, but then kicked out. Ugh.
Anyways, Saraya versus Britt Baker. This is again another special moment on the card tonight. Saraya's first match back
Oh, shit.
in years, almost like a decade. Almost, not a decade, like 8 years, I think. The Cougs said, "Cannot wait for Jericho versus Roosh eventually,
Yeah.
as Roosh is a former 2-time Ring of Honor champion." Yeah, that's gonna be wild. This was a really good match for Saraya. I mean, she seemed like she got a little gassed at certain points, but it's
She
her
did.
first match in 8 years. I'm not gonna hold it against her. Not yet anyway. But no, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a great match to see her back. I thought she looked great. I thought Britt looked great in the match. Just all around a great match.
I heard some people saying it was a little slow, and I'm like, listen, it's her first match back after 5 years. She had a devastating injury. They had to kind of sort of take it slow to make sure that they were doing everything safely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they did some spots that shocked the hell out of me that they even did. Like when Britt, I don't even know what that's called, but where she hung her off the apron to the outside and did like a twisting neck breaker thing. I would have never in a million years imagined that move would have been something they were going to do after her injury and all of that stuff. Like if you had any doubts that she couldn't take bumps and stuff like that, that one right there, that wiped it all right out of my mind. I was like, oh, okay, she's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a big point of this match, I feel like. And the story that they told was special, it was something special. I mean, Britt kept working that neck at every opportunity. She did neck breakers on the apron. She was legitimately forearming and elbowing Britt in the back of her neck. But just in general, just something special. Meduja couldn't hold back his tears when Saraya won. Coach said can't get that in-ring stamina until you do it a couple of times. Exactly, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
The Coug said, don't know if you could see it, but Saraya got a little emotional when she heard the crowd reaction.
Yeah, we saw.
I did hear that. Or I did notice that. I saw it, and yeah, again, just a really big moment, and just another big moment on a whole card full of huge moments. And just I thought she was great. And she ends up picking
Yeah.
up the win. Awesome match.
I was absolutely shocked that they let Saraya come in here and beat their top, one of their top women here. I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't think. No, wait, I am not okay with it. Hold on, I'm not okay with this.
Jeff, what were the picks, Jeff? Just say what the goddamn picks
Oh, okay,
were.
I'll definitely say the pick. You definitely chose Saraya, and Coach Nick and I both chose Britt. The extra points on this were both having to do with Sasha, so that's out of the picture there. So you do get your point to take the lead. I'm not okay with this, man. I don't want to call her an outsider, but we have someone who is going to be looked at as, a WWE person coming over.
That's not fair. Why do okay, hold on. I'm going to rant for a second here.
All right, go ahead.
It really bothers me that it doesn't matter where you used to work. Like, yes, you can take note of that. Yes, you can do that. And obviously homegrown talent is important. You need to do that. It's like any good sports team. You need to draft well, right? Let's look at the Eagles, right? You need to draft well. You need to go out and draft those Devontae Smiths. But you know what's really fucking great? Trading for AJ Brown. Okay? You can't.
This is okay.
Not fair to Saraya. Saraya has been wrestling. When she got into wrestling, WWE was the place to be. That's just factual. You can't argue it. Even when it was a bad product, it was the top it's it's still by the numbers the top company in industry. So it's like you can't just be like, all right, Saraya, you need, or Paige, whatever at the time, you need to sit out for like 10 years because AEW is coming in 2019 and that's what you need to do. Like, no, like that's not fair. It's just
So
not.
I think I may have I didn't really finish here. So the reason I'm so upset with this is these dudes on Twitter are going to run with this so hard, being like, oh, look, Saraya wasn't even that good in WWE. Now she's coming over here and beating their top star. And I'm just like, I don't want to have to hear that shit. Like,
Can I give you my rebuttal? You know, I was going to save this, you know, in case I won tonight. I don't know if I'm winning or not. Can I give you my rebuttal to those people on Twitter?
Yes. Oh shit, the sunglasses are back.
Fuck them. Don't give a fuck what people on Twitter say.
That was awesome.
Don't give a shit. God
All
damn.
right. So Rome has taken the lead. Yeah, that was a very emotional moment. It got me too. I think Purple just said it the best in chat. She said she had a feeling because she comes from a wrestling family and we know she's capable of it. That's actually a good point. You know, if we know she's capable of it, we don't really want to just ignore that because she's from the E. I get it. I get it.
Coach says it best. People are working for the top company. AEW is only 3 years old, so people gotta come from where? LOL. Twitter people are morons. Completely agree. Like
Horrible.
it's like AEW is brand new and like it's 3 years old. We're in year 4 right now. Like, what do you want them to do? Just hire? Like, I hate to break it to you, Jeff, but like, no matter how good these people are that no one knows, if AEW didn't have Jericho or the Bucks or Cody or anyone else of note, like if they didn't get JR to do commentary, if it was just Excalibur, and I think they even had Alex Marvez early doing commentary. If you had Excalibur and Alex Marvez, like, yes, Excalibur is fucking incredible, but like you need someone to bridge that gap to get you in the door. You know, like JR is winding down. You know, I mean, Shivani's still there, but you have guys now who like, you know, and granted Taz did it for a few years, but you have Taz and Excalibur getting ready to fucking do the top tier commentary work for like the next 15 years, probably. Excalibur probably longer. So like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like these guys got to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? And like WWE stole people from WCW, like which in turn WCW stole people from WWE, like and vice. Like you could go all the way back to the beginning of the sport. It's just the way it is. So it's like
That's a good point. It's
I
just the
just
way
don't
it
like the
is.
argument. It's just a dumb argument. It's like, oh, well, they're a WWE person. Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
you know, judge them off their merits. That's all I'm asking. Jesus.
All right.
Anyways, I'm in the lead now.
Yes, Rome is taking the lead.
I have. Good match though. Good match.
Really
Next
needed
up,
that
we have
point,
the
man.
TNT. Oh, hold on. We have Coach saying, "Oh yeah, I would never have tuned in if there wasn't a couple WWE guys. That's how I knew it. It was legit when they had names like Jericho, JR, Kazarian, Daniel, Christopher Daniels, etc., etc." Exactly.
True. True.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't name Cody for a reason. Yeah, fuck Corey Paths, man. Hate that guy. I'm fired up tonight, Jeff. I'm fucking.
I don't know if you guys can see, but up here is Kenny Omega hitting Cody with a chair.
I know I saw that in the Discord. It's great. Next up, we have the TNT Championship match. Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Big meaty men. Great match.
Oh man, this was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Wardlow doing that crazy, it was like a whisper in the wind or something. I don't know what he calls it. I haven't heard him say anything other than just, oh my god, did you see that?
It's called a Wardlow in the wind.
Oh, it is okay. A Wardlow in the wind. That's great. He pulled that one perfect, landed on his feet, took both of them out like that. This dude is incredible. His athleticism is insane. I'll just go ahead and say it. None of us picked what was actually. Oh, wait a minute. No, yeah, none of us picked this one. None of us picked the winner on this. Some of us had the winner as who got pinned, so we were all extremely incorrect on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I had Wardlow, and you and Coach Nick both had Powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe. What's that?
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Samoa Joe is now the fourth Samoan person of Samoan descent to be a double champion in wrestling currently. We have Roman Reigns and we have the Usos, and now we have Samoa Joe, double champion.
So the coup coming off the top rope with an elbow right on Jeff's chest. He says, "Why do so-called fans forget that WWF/WWE is not the beginning of wrestling? EMLL, CMLL in Mexico began in 1933, a full 42 years before WWF was born. Wrestling is worldwide." Juhas says, "I did."
Oh, yeah.
Juhas picked Samoa Joe apparently in this crazy prediction thing.
Yeah.
So funniest thing with Juhas, right? So I meet up with him after I said bye to you last night because I was riding with Juhas.
Yep.
I meet up with him and Juhas was like, "Oh, I should win the championship. I picked all the right winners." So I'm like, "Where are your picks?" And then he blamed you, Jeff, as the commissioner. He blamed you, which I have nothing to do with that. I am not involved. That's between you and him. But
Well,
we'll see.
if it is true that he picked all these winners, there's a good chance that he may be a number one contender in the future. So
perhaps. The Kook saying Joe was not on his bingo card. Coach agrees with Meduja. "I'm actually looking forward to seeing Joe with this title." Coach said, "Kook, the man, come in with the best old school knowledge." Absolutely. Kook's killing
yeah,
it.
absolutely. And
Top
I
man.
heard a lot of people for this match were saying the only reason Joe was in the match was to take the pin. And I was like, well, you were wrong. So was I.
Joe said, messaging Jeff wasn't worth it.
Hey man, if you would have been, it's all good. It's all good. We'll get you in you'll be in soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. So this match kind of ended the way I predicted it, but like swap Samoa Joe and Hobbs. Like I even told you after the match, the way that it went down was like literally like perfectly what I thought was gonna happen. It just was flipped.
Yeah, just flipped. Yeah, Joe's finally healthy. Got to get your money out of him. That's a good point.
Yeah, Meduja saying there was a wrestling company in Brazil called Telecatch, and it was broadcasted in the 60s.
Hey, I love that we got people from all over the world, man. Shout out to everybody in all your different countries, France, Brazil, America. I think we got Madagascar. I know that's one of our top on the list there. It's kind of crazy.
But yeah, this was a great match with Joe winning. He defeated Wardlow and Hobbs to win the TNT Championship. Yeah, I was shocked. I really was. Like, I really felt like, and I guess we're still going in that direction. I thought this was going to lead to a final battle Ring of Honor television title match between Joe and Wardlow. And it could still go that way. But 2-belt Joe, man, love to see it. Just absolutely excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you said no points for this, correct? Yeah,
no points. Yep.
All right. Next up, we have a match that I did not know was no DQ, no count out, and I almost had a heart attack because of the tables.
Yeah.
A no DQ, no count out match: Sting and Darby Allin versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And this was another one that I fucking love this for what it is, it's just great, excellent match.
Dude, this had one of the craziest spots I've ever seen in it. Darby Allin goes for a coffin drop, and Jeff Jarrett explodes a fucking guitar across his back. Seeing that in person and hearing it, like, I heard it, and we were up there. My jaw was just in my mouth was just open. I didn't go like, oh my God, I was just like, what did I just see? That was insane.
Yeah, it was a crazy match with a bunch of crazy spots. Sting diving onto Satnam, and like I got scared for a second because the way he landed, it looked really bad. But Sting, just being a fucking 65-year-old guy, is like, you know what? I'm gonna do everything Darby does. Like, oh, okay, just absolutely bonkers out there. Again, special moment. We got Jeff Jarrett and Sting in the ring together fighting. That was really freaking cool. The match itself was awesome. A lot of fighting all over the place. This was another one of those matches, like first time live kind of thing, where it's like, oh shit, we really got to follow. Where's Sting? Where's Jeff? Like, I know you, me, and Purple were like constantly like, oh, where's this person? Where's this person? We're like trying to figure out where everybody was. And a lot of fun in this match.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to ask the Coog if he's joined the Discord, man. I would love for you to send me some links to some old matches from like these Japanese and Mexican promotions. I'd love to be able to see some stuff from that you would recommend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, the entrances were great. This was an all-around great match, really well put together, a lot of cool stuff going on. Really enjoyed it. Again, this is another one for what it was. Like, this is like a high 4. It's a really strong card. And on other cards, this could take match of the night for its own reasons for the style that they did.
Yeah.
But this
No,
was very, very good.
I
But at
feel
the end
like
of
I
the
should
day,
have. I feel like I
like,
should have wore my Jeff Jarrett cosplay for the pod since I wore it to the show.
Jeff, look,
It
man,
was
here's the
terrible.
thing.
Don't get it twisted. It was terrible. I understand.
Yeah, it wasn't a good cosplay.
No, it wasn't.
Nobody at no point I don't think anybody was
No,
like,
there was a couple dudes that did behind me, but
no, I remember you turning around saying, I'm Jeff Jarrett.
no, I tilted my hat to him, and he was like, "Oh, he's got the hat. What's up, Jeff Jarrett?" So I like tilted my hat to him.
Yeah, the coup's gonna make you a list, Jeff. Yeah, definitely share that with
Yeah.
us. Would love to see that list. Um, but so yeah, this was a great match. Sting and Darby Allin defeat Jarrett and Lethal. Jeff, what's going on with the points here? Who picked who?
All right. So, you and Coach Nick both predicted Steve Sting and Darby Allin. Isn't his real name Steve?
I don't know.
I think it is. I'm not sure, but you guys both predicted Sting winning. I did predict the team of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. So both of you guys receive a point, and I do not.
All right. So currently the standings are me and Lee with 8, and Coach and Jeff tied with 6.
Juha says they didn't even want to boo you. Dude, there was some guy in the hallways freaking out that Mox lost. He was like, Moxley got fucked. Moxley got fucked. And I looked at him and I was like, Jeff Jarrett got fucked. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he was like, fuck Jeff Jarrett, man. That shit was so funny, dude. I started laughing my ass off.
Oh man.
Dude, he looked me dead in the face. He's like, fuck Jeff Jarrett.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh shit.
Next up, we have the AEW Interim World Women's Championship match. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. This is another banger. This is another great
This was so good.
So good. Just an excellent match all around and another great moment. This pay-per-view is special, not just because almost all of the matches were great to excellent, but just because it's just special moments. There's just moments in time, WWE has the fortune of having 50 years plus to work with this. Like they do the opening where it's like the then, now, forever, and they have all these really cool moments in it. And there was multiple tonight where you could see any of these moments in that when AEW is 10 years old and they're celebrating that 10th year anniversary and they start having those types of little video packages where it's the legacy of AEW. What is AEW? You're going to see a bunch of Full Gear 2022 on that video package. Just a lot of cool stuff. And to see Jamie Hayter come out and win this match, win the women's title, regardless of whether it's interim or not. We have a what's proclaimed as a hot take coming in from Meduja. Might be a hot take, but this is, in their opinion, the best women's match in AEW history. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what comes to my mind is Britt and Thunder Rosa. Both of the big matches from them.
The bloody match, for sure.
Sheeta versus Nyla at Double or Nothing. When Sheeta won the title off Nyla, that was also excellent. We've definitely had some great matches. Sprinkle Riho in there. I think I recall a really good Riho versus Serena Deeb match. I'm thinking, I think it was a pre-show for. It was at one of the pre-shows for one of the pay-per-views last year. They had a really good match. But yeah, they're there. But to your credit, I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think it's a very, very good match.
Yeah, it's like we just said. That's gonna be my number 2 match of all time that I can think of in my head. But Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, the bloody match, to me takes the cake.
Which one, the lights out or the cage match?
The cage match with
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's a great pick. I mean, they're both 5-star matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that this match was excellent, and then Jamie finally picking up that win. Pleasant surprise of Britt being about Jamie winning the title. I thought that was really cool. And really unexpected. I mean, honestly, because what we know of Britt as a character, and now obviously this could change in time, but just to see Britt and Rebel just be like, no, this is Jamie's night. This is
Yeah.
Jamie's. I just thought that was really fucking cool.
Me too, and a lot of us thought that Britt was going to cost Jamie the title shot, and that's how they were going to jumpstart the feud between Jamie and Britt.
Yeah.
But nah, actually, they went the opposite way, and I think we're going to enjoy this more. I think eventually Britt's going to become the jealous friend and take her out and try to. She's going to want the belt back,
Yeah,
So,
maybe eventually, but like just for tonight, just
yeah,
just giving it the moment to breathe, like
yeah.
yeah,
And the way
awesome.
she hugged her, like, oh, it was great. This was such a great moment. And the crowd, dude, Jamie Hayter. Okay, they have never truly tried to push her. This is the most organic rise to, stardom I have ever seen, and it is all on her. They didn't try to make her a superstar or anything. It just happened. And I love it when that happens.
I would argue Thunder Rosa had a similar rise. I mean, regardless of how people feel about her now.
But I would say they tried to push her. They were trying to make her a star.
I think that happened after the Lights Out match and that beginning of the feud.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know about that because at the time it was Britt's division.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, just the way that the way that she's become so over with very little effort, on AEW's booking part, like this is incredible for her. I'm so happy for Jamie Hayter.
I'm saying is, man, right now, or at least last night, he probably still is. I know Triple Pinocchio Paul, he's like punching at the air because he knows he lost the Booker of the Year award last night. I mean, he lost it before then, but last night was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think I even looked over and said that to you. I was like, man, Banana Man's pissed now. He lost his Booker of the Year.
Yeah, man. I don't think he ever had it personally, but he definitely lost it if he did have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is great. The Coug saying loved Riho versus Nyla first Dynamite in October 2019 for the inaugural title. St. Patrick's Day Slam, Rosa versus Britt, and this match last night. Yeah, that first match with Nyla and Riho was phenomenal. You are
Coog
correct.
might have the best memory I have ever heard. Do you have like a photographic memory or anything like that, Coog? I can't remember specific shows and matches. It's hard. It's a little hard for me to remember that. Like pay-per-views, I can kind of remember, but that's tough. That's a good memory right there. All right, so points on this one. We all actually chose Jamie Hayter. So, and this one was where I had my chance for a possible extra point, saying that they would unify the belt, but alas, they did not. To my dismay.
No, they did not. All right. Next up, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, The Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. This match was good, but man, that last match before the main event is just a death trap because I don't think anybody can make that slot be great. Like this, it's nothing against them, and I know that I'm sure Tony Khan didn't want to. Tony's been really putting a lot of effort in the women's matches, so he probably didn't want to put a women's match on there. Nor should you, for the record, put a women's match on there just because it's the women's match. But I don't think there was a match on this card that you put there and it doesn't suffer from the spot on the card. But all in all, it was still a very enjoyable match. Max brought out a 2-verse rap, which was really good. I still want to go back and listen to it, not live, like on video.
I couldn't hear a word of it.
I heard a little bit of it. It was pretty good from what I heard, but yeah, I want to go back and watch it again. I have to find it still.
Quick question before you move on. So are you saying that for this match you thought the crowd was a little dead or something? I didn't feel like that at all.
I thought the crowd definitely seemed a little out of it. I thought that I don't think the crowd was dead. I don't think they were completely dead, but there was definitely a lull. After the Acclaim, after Max did his rap and the match actually started, I was expecting "Oh Scissor Me Daddy" chants to go through the whole match. Somebody tried to start it and it went for 5 seconds and then died. And I don't think it's anything against the Acclaimed or Swerve in Our Glory. It's just that spot. I would like to see somebody, whether it be like more obviously, I think Tony Khan's more capable of doing it. I would like to see somebody figure out something for that spot before the main event.
Well,
Like,
I
can we
want to.
try something different? Can like here's my idea. Let's do a promo on a pay-per-view. Like, let's do like a 10-minute promo that sets up for a storyline, like anything. It doesn't have to be even a major storyline. Like, let's just throw something out there to like kill some time before the main event. Let the crowd get a little bit more worked back up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you would do, but like, I don't know, something. I just like they did the Orange Cassidy video package with Jake Hager, which I want to mention real quick now that I remembered it. It was fucking incredible.
It was
With
great.
the conversation between Orange and Jake Hager, Orange is like, Jake's like, "What's in the bag?" Orange is like, "This belt.
This
You want it?" He's like, "I
you
want it."
want it?
He's like, "I'll fight you for it on Wednesday." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "It's a nice hat."
Nice hat.
And then Jake's
He's like, I
like,
love this hat.
"You're goddamn right it is. I
You're
love this
damn
hat."
right.
Because finally somebody loved the hat the way he loves the hat. Um, but just yeah, great moment. But like I'm saying, like do that. Like maybe do a few of those interviews. Like just string something
Yeah.
together. Give us
Yeah.
some. Give us like 10-15 minutes of just like, all right, here's some promos. Like, and I understand that might not be the way people want the show to progress, but for the live audience, like let them build. Like, don't let any of the wrestlers, don't let any of the matches go to this crowd that's going to be tired. And like it I don't know how you can fix it because the everything leading up to that, I was fucking dying at this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. But like you're doing a disservice to the wrestlers because the AEW cards are so good, and WWE has the same problem too. Like no doubt about it. Um, like in AEW, like you have your whole card, and people are so excited for these matches, and they go through it, and they're all hyped. I thought overall, a very great crowd last night, but you got to that match, that death spot. It's the same thing on Dynamite and Rampage on regular TV. That seventh quarter is just not a good quarter. It never does that well. And just
So I think I kind of realized what might have happened here, but I think it's interesting that we kind of took that the different ways. I thought that the lull in the crowd was we were so amped for them coming out, doing the rap, the match started. I think everybody was just so like ready to sit down and watch the match that it kind of did get a little silent. But I actually didn't take it in a bad way. I was like, "Oh man, let's go," and everybody just kind of sat down. But now that I think about it after you saying that, I'm like, it's pretty interesting that there could be two different sides of the fence there on how you took that.
see, I would disagree with your point just because of the kind of match that was had there.
Yeah.
Looking back on the last pay-per-view at All Out, Jericho versus Danielson, that match was designed and booked to be a very technical match. That match did
Yeah.
not go on second to last, but it had a very dead crowd, and the reason for that was what you were saying. People just wanted to sit down and watch this wrestling match between two technical wrestlers.
Yeah.
None of the guys in the ring, all of the guys in the ring are fantastic, excellent wrestlers. I don't want this to
True.
come off as that. But none of those guys would I say are technical wrestlers. They're just not. They are more of that bombastic, entertaining wrestling style. And it's just yeah, go ahead.
The Coug has a great point there. That should be a hat versus title match, man.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
I like Meduja saying Ryan Nemeth could come out and do stand-up comedy. Exactly. It doesn't have to be very good. Like obviously do a good segment, but you could have Ryan Nemeth go out there. Like here's what I would do, right? Just with that idea specifically.
That is a good idea.
Have Ryan Nemeth go out there, do what he did in Philly last time we were in Philly. Have him shit on New Jersey, have him shit on Newark, and then just pick somebody to go out there and destroy him.
Yeah.
Like Lance Archer. Like Lance Archer lost on Friday. Give him the moment where he's pissed and he just comes out and just fucking breaks Ryan Nemeth.
That would be great. Comes out, destroys him, and then just walks straight to the back. Doesn't say a word.
Exactly. Like just kill some time and do something that doesn't require the fans to like be really into something because they just need a break. It doesn't matter how good your show is, or how good the match in that slot is. And again, I don't want to take it away from the match. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the match, but myself, I was exhausted at this point getting ready for the main event. I was chanting the whole night, and I was like, you know what? I took like my water. I had like a little bit left, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this water and enjoy the match. But like, I can't do it. And like, whenever the chant started for like "Scissor Me Daddy," I tried, but like it died down as soon as I started. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not carrying this. It's just not gonna happen.
The Jamie Hayter match took a lot of energy, man. I was screaming half the time. Like, I was counting with every pinfall. I was like, 1, 2, you know, like that one took a lot of energy out of me. So I do see where you're coming from there too.
Yeah, but overall, great match. I thought that this was just great match. Really cool to see Swerve and Our Glory finally break up. At one point, Swerve wants Keith to cheat. Keith's not having it. He picks up Bowens, pats him on the back, leaves the ring, takes his arm guard off, and stands on the ramp and watches as Anthony Bowens comes back and him and Max defeat Swerve Strickland.
The exact opposite of what I said was going to happen.
AKA the exact thing that I said was going to happen.
Yep. You and Coach Nick both chose the Acclaimed, and I did not. So I am surely eliminated from this championship match, laying unconscious on the outside of the ring.
With your shitty Jeff Jarrett, not Jeff Jarrett hat.
Oh, it was so bad. If I could have found a black trench coat, I could have saved it, but that was no.
Here's the thing, folks. Look, all right, you know me. I don't always like being this guy. However, I'm feeling it tonight. So Jeff, you wanted to do a Jeff Jarrett cosplay.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So you're sitting there in the Discord, right? And Juhas and I, we're like on our way to the show, right? We're like on our way. And you go to the Discord like, guys, what tie should I wear for my Jeff Jarrett cosplay? And I'm like,
my first, so I can explain that. My first thing is I'm just gonna wear a suit, you know.
You'll get your chance.
Okay.
But so you were like, what tie should I wear for my Jeff Jarrett cosplay? And I'm like, I turned to Juhas and I was like, have you ever seen Jeff Jarrett like on a regular basis wear a tie? And Joe's like, no. Well, no. Why? And I'm like, because fucking Jeff wants to wear a tie, and one of them is a Star Wars tie with little lightsabers on it. And I'm like, and Joe's like, no, he's not. Like, yes, he is. He is. He wants to wear a little Star Wars tie for his Jeff Jarrett cosplay. And Juhas is like, tell him he's lame. And I was like, sure, I'll tell him he's lame.
I was like, you guys are mean.
And it wasn't a good idea. I mean, luckily we talked you out of the tie. We finally talked you out of the tie. You were supposed to get there before us based off the time. Like, we stopped and got something to eat on the way to the show. And it was a less drive for you.
Yeah.
You should have beaten us there. You did not. You got there 45 minutes after we had gotten in line. And like, I'm just going to be frank, it's definitely because you sat there staring at ties for 45 minutes.
Probably.
Coach, and you enabled him, Coach. You told him to pick the purple one. I'm like, Jeff Jarrett has never like maybe once or twice he wore a suit for a promo or wore a suit like to a press conference. I'm sure that happened, but like I've never seen Jeff Jarrett consistently walk out with a tie. Like just never. I've never seen it.
And when Juhas said he wears silvers, when I was like, oh crap, I got to look this up. So I did look it up, and the only time Jeff Jarrett has ever worn a tie is where he's wearing just a blue button-up shirt, like no coat, and he wears some ugly ass ties too. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, the tie idea is gone. And I did go with the silver shirt like Juhas had suggested. But the horrible problem here was I ordered this,
It wasn't a cowboy hat. It was more of a fedora.
Exactly. So I ordered this freaking cowboy hat that looked to me on the fucking screen like it was a nice little black cowboy hat. And man, I get this shit and it's like some Johnny Depp fucking like flat circle brimmed. It might have even been for a woman, dude. I swear to God, it might have been a lady's hat. I don't even know. But yeah, the only way to save that was with a black trench coat and a better hat. So I admit right off the bat, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was not a good cosplay. We tried to talk you out of it. You were adamant.
I wish I would have listened.
Yeah, I wish you would have too.
I'm stubborn.
I was joking on the way there. I was like, Jeff's probably gonna show up looking like fucking Doug Dimmadome, and like people are gonna be like, "Oh, what did you buy? Exxon Gas Company or something?" Like,
Yeah, Coach Nick's the only one that's actually seen this besides you guys, because I actually sent him a picture and I was like, does this look okay? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, no, it doesn't. In my head, I was like, it really doesn't.
see, like, all right, ready here. I'm gonna be Coach Nick for a second. All right, ready? Like make like a ding sound, like a notification on my phone when I'm done talking. Ready? Okay, and action. All right, guys, go run a few laps. I'm gonna go into the film room and check some stuff out.
Okay.
Oh, okay, hold on, my phone's going off. What's this? Oh, Jeff's asking me if he looks good. Let me see the picture. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Jeff, you look great, man. Who are you trying to look like?
Man,
Jeff
I asked you,
Jarrett?
Coach, because I wanted honesty.
You should have asked me. I was being honest when I told you
Oh,
what
I
I
know.
thought. I'm always
I already
keeping
knew your guys' opinion, though.
Coach is just like, all right, I gotta go back to the film room.
Next time I'll just dust off the old evil Uno mask and wear that and be blind instead.
Jeff, at the end of the day, I'm always gonna keep it 100. Okay,
I know.
I'm not
That's
a
why we
troll.
love you, man.
I'm not, like, here's the thing. Like, I could understand if Juhas, only Juhas told you, because Juhas, wonderful human being, absolute troll. Totally understand. If Juhas was like, you look like shit, and everyone else said you look good. Okay, I get that. But like, I'm not sitting here trying to fucking sabotage you if you don't tell you it doesn't look good.
Oh, I know. I should have actually just tossed the hat. Like once we got there, I was just wearing a black coat and the hat and the shirt. If I would have just tossed the hat, it probably would have been fine.
Oh man.
But something in my brain was like, "You spent $20. You're wearing this shit all night," and I was like, "All right."
And then the worst part is like you were so focused on the Jarrett stuff, you didn't bring your MJF scarf.
I know. I'm
Like,
glad I didn't though, because everyone there had the MJF scarf. Oh my god.
yeah, but you know what? It would have looked really bad if you did the Jarrett thing with the scarf.
Yeah,
that would have been too much. That would have been like.
Yeah, it would not good.
Anyways,
All right.
this was a good match. I got my points. I think Coach got points too. You did not, Jeff. Let's move on. Oh,
I
sorry.
do have a quick question for you about this Acclaimed and Swerve match. So, this was the rubber match.
Sure.
Which of the 3 matches did you enjoy the most?
The first one.
I would have to say so also, but this one is a very close second. I think the first one was because, they won the titles.
No.
Or no, they won in the second one, but...
I enjoyed the first one the most because it was just the better of the 3 matches.
Yeah.
The second one I enjoyed a little bit under that. It wasn't as good of a match, but the ending was special. Purple kept asking Jeff kept asking Purple, who,
she had no idea.
like, how did he look? And she has no idea who Jeff Jarrett was.
I showed her a picture and she was like, kinda. She was one of those that wouldn't. Yeah, she wouldn't tell me.
It's the same thing as what Coach did. She was probably looking at it like,
she did the same thing Coach did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you kind of do look like it if you turn your head and tilt your head or something like that. Squint your eyes.
All right, let's get to the main event here. We had Jon Moxley versus MJF. Oh my God, this was great.
Excellent match. This is another fiver. This is another fiver for me. Kudos to Mox. Mox walked into that building as the heel. He read it immediately, and he reacted accordingly. Some notes, and maybe the people watching at home can kind of back me up on this, because I'm sitting there watching this, right? Sitting there watching Mox's entrance. And much like Juhas, I also knew that some dirty finish was coming. I said multiple times in the weeks leading up to this, I was like, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing you he didn't exist. MJF clearly hamming it up. There was definitely something coming to this. He is not a babyface. I repeat, he's not a babyface.
Only in Newark. Only in New Jersey or New York.
Well, no, I mean, in Long Island he will be a face.
Yeah.
So, sitting there, and I'm watching Mox's entrance, and you have Mox talking to Regal as they're walking to the stadium, or they're walking out. And Regal clearly looked pissed off. Mox was like getting mouthy with him, and at the last second before they go out there, Mox turns around and flips him off. if somebody who watched at home can kind of verify that this is what they saw as well, I noticed it live and I was like, yeah, this is what happened. Jeff was like, oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
And I was like, all right, man, well, just you watch, and then Regal leaves and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's the finish. Much like I thought. But so what happens is you have an excellent match where MJF working the babyface, Mox working the heel. Excellent match. The crowd was super into this match. They were chanting like "new champ, whoop whoop, new champ," amongst other things. We get a broken table number 2. I'm just gonna write it on my scoreboard.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see who predicted. I wonder if anyone predicted 2 broken tables tonight. We'll see. But yeah, this is an excellent match leading up to the finish where we have William Regal come out. Max has the Dynamite Diamond ring on his fist, and Regal's like, I knew you couldn't win this legitimately. I knew you couldn't win a straight fight. And MJF takes the ring off, throws it on the ground, goes to fight Mox. A little bit more fighting happens. You have some referees getting knocked out. First referee, second referee. I was making jokes like, who's third on call? Get him out there.
The crowd chanted Aubrey.
Yeah, I guess so. She's probably like, I'm not taking another bump. Let Bryson and Knox do this. I already took a bump this week. But so, Regal comes up. He slides the brass knucks to MJF. MJF knocks out Moxley, pins Mox, and we have a brand new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Post match, after the show ends, we have the media scrum. MJF comes in, cuts a promo, basically shitting on the fans, shitting on the media, shitting on Tony Khan, shitting on everybody. Saying like, I fucking duped all of you. You all thought that I was gonna be this shining good guy, that I was gonna be a squeaky clean. You fucking marks, you idiots, and he just tears everyone to shreds. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. Media scrums are always worth watching. He does drop another CM Punk line in this promo, in the media scrum. Make of that what you will. I still think it's a work and we see CM Punk again, and I think MJF is student of CM Punk. That's what he is. CM Punk's his favorite wrestler, and he takes his work and he, turns it into his own. The Kook said, great main event.
Incredible.
Coach saying Mox flipped Regal off before the match. I swear this happened.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
No, so Mox is walking. They're bickering. They're chit-chatting. Regal looks pissed. And not in that way where Regal kind of stands there and looks around like this. He's like, I don't give a fuck. No, they were legitimately looked like they were bickering. And then Mox, before they go out the curtain to go into the actual, open part of the stadium, and they leave that hallway, it looked like Mox turns around, goes like this, and then they just walk out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to see his entrance again.
I want to look it up. Jeff, give some thoughts on this match. What did you think of this match?
I thought the storytelling in this was incredible. Basically, the entire match and the entire build, it felt like Mox was taking MJF lightly. He was kind of like, "Who the hell is this kid? What are you gonna do to me? I beat you I beat you before a long time ago." And even in the match, every time Mox had him down, he would just walk around and strut around like, this guy's nothing, you know what I mean? So it really felt like he was taking him lightly the entire time. And I did see the look on Regal's face and him kind of chit-chatting with Mox, but I felt like he was telling him, you're taking this guy lightly, stop taking him so lightly. But I didn't see any of the, the flip-off thing. I think maybe that might have been directed to a fan who said something to him, because the fans had to be heavy against him, coming through the crowd, and he was getting booed hard.
This video is before that. I'm looking for something that happened right before this video started. Hold on. No, because they were still in the,
I know what you're talking about, because you kind of looked over at me. It's right when they're inside the tunnel, right when they cut to Mox and Regal before he comes out of the tunnel.
Right.
They say something to each other, and Regal does have a scowl on his face. But immediately after that, all I saw was him turn around and start walking through the crowd.
I'm really trying to find it. I really want to see it. Juju said, what I saw was Moxley flipping off the camera. Okay, maybe he flipped off the camera. Him and Regal were definitely bickering, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mox definitely flipped off somebody in that hallway. But he could be mistaken, he's saying. Kook says, you guys remember when MJF debuted in AEW? He was Cody's friend. My, what a long way he has come. Yes, absolutely, man. I remember that like it was yesterday. I love MJF is again, this is such a moment for MJF. Just an absolute crazy moment for him. And it's just great. I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
look
that
him up
was
here. Let me see if
amazing.
Twitter can come in clutch here.
All right. So, you know, of course, MJF gets his win, gets that belt finally. And man, that thing looks great over his shoulder. If you guys didn't see the thumbnail for tonight, that's an awesome picture of him with some devil horns with the belt. He looks great with that belt. So, Coach, this is the one that, you know, put the nail in the coffin for you. Coach had chosen Jon Moxley. I was already knocked out of the running here, and Rome did correctly choose MJF. So King Rome
chose MJF.
What's that?
Was I the only one that chose MJF?
No, I chose MJF as well, but I was out of the running already.
Did Coach choose MJF?
No, he chose Moxley, so me and you get a point.
Gotcha. Well, Jeff, how many broken tables?
Well, so there were 2 broken tables on the night, but they tried to break 3. But to my dismay, one of those tables earlier did not break, just kind of tilted over. So, with a prediction of 2 tables, that would be an extra point to King Rome, even though you didn't even need it. We have a new Broken Predictions champion, King Rome.
Well,
congratulations, sir.
It would seem,
glad to have the belt back where it belongs.
It would seem that the boyhood dream has finally come true. You know, what a day, what an event. You know, I just want to take a few minutes to thank everybody who supported me through this. You know, I made a misstep. You know, and you know the King Rome's not a heel. You know, at the end of the day, I lost that last match to Forrest. You know, I tried my best to save the podcast, and I did fail. But I'm glad that I was able to come out here tonight and redeem myself against some great competitors. You know, Coach Nick was fantastic. Like this man, I respect this man more than I respect, you know, almost anybody in this entire world. You know, I think God blessed him with a lot of special ability. Super smart guy. Just absolute fucking competitor. Like this dude, like Coach drove me to be a better competitor, and I just want to make sure that I put over my worthy opponent as much as I could.
Thank you very much for that. Excellent victory speech.
I was talking about Coach.
I know.
Yeah. Jeff, your hat looked lame. It wasn't very
What's that?
good. Your hat was lame. It wasn't very good.
It was horrible, dude. It was horrible.
That being said,
Pretty sure
I'm
it's
not going to be a heel. This win is for all of the great people here at the Broken Tables podcast, all the great fans. The King's Court is once again in session and shall remain in session.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, overall, this was one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year for sure. I am so glad that we actually did decide to buy those tickets, man. You know, I would be kicking myself if we didn't. Seeing what we got to see, so many moments tonight, or, you know, last night. There was the return of the Elite. There was Jamie Hayter winning the championship, MJF winning the championship. Like, those 3 moments, I'm going to remember for a long time. Eddie Kingston making me fucking swell up and basically cry in the middle of an arena. Like, crazy.
Yeah.
I'll remember that for a long time.
Yeah. You know, one last thing as champion before we carry on with the show. I would like to announce that I will be a fighting champion, and I am already going to book. Now, Jeff, I don't trust you to book matches anymore. I just don't. No offense. Bad booker. You're the triple Paul of bookers in terms of podcasts. My first title defense, I am booking right now the #1 contendership match for my title. This #1 contendership match is going to go off of top competitors here in the Broken Tables community. I am announcing that at Winter is Coming on December 14th, I believe it is. It might be the 15th. Not sure. It's one of the two. We will have a predictions face-off between the coach and Juhas. This will be a one-on-one match where both men will submit their picks, and the winner will face me at a future date.
That is actually that's actually pretty nice. I think I'm going to approve of this number one contenders match. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah. Just let me do the booking. I'll get us far.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. Beautiful belt.
All right, so this was an excellent show. Thank you guys in chat for hanging out with us tonight. We held a nice audience all night. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Coog, for joining us, man. We absolutely love the knowledge that you bring in here and drop into the chat. Coach Nick, as always, congratulations on your number one contenders match coming up. And Purpleness, and we had Miaja as well. We had Joseph Juhas. Thank you guys all very, very much for joining us tonight. Anything else you want to add before we head out of here?
I think AEW, Full Gear, excellent pay-per-view. I think it probably will be pay-per-view of the year. A few matches that will be mentioned in our match of the year, contention. Just a reminder, please come back here tomorrow to the Broken Tables Podcast YouTube channel, where we will have episode 2 of The Game Room, our video game podcast. Excuse me. We will be talking about the Game Awards. Jeff will be making his picks live for the Game Awards here on the show. And then we will also have the review for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0. Please make sure you are here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. It would mean the world to me.
Yeah, I love these game room podcasts. Gaming just has a special place in my heart. Me and Purple met on the World of Warcraft, stuff like that. So I really hope you guys join us for that as well. Got some interesting points about Warzone 2. I can't wait to have that discussion tomorrow.
So, Coach, it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be 6 p.m. for your time.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I would love for you to join us live, hang out, have a good time, talk about video games. The only in terms of, the only passion that probably trumps pro wrestling for me is my passion for video games. So, let's get at it and have a fun night tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coog. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man.
No, thank you, man. Thank you very much. That is like valuable, like very valuable knowledge you have. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we gonna play together? Is Coach talking to Rome? Because we've already played together.
Coach, it's my fault. I keep forgetting that the social tab is kind of buggy right now. So like every time I go in it keeps crashing it. So I just forget. Like I keep trying to push it. Like I tried to add Jeff the other night too, and it was some issues, which will be mentioned in the review. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. But we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
Yep. All right, man. Go ahead and close us out.
All right. Well, this has been episode 92 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe or a follow, depending on where you find us. Jeff, is this a YouTube exclusive or no?
No. This will be uploaded to the Spotify.
Just want to make sure.
All of them.
Thank you for everyone hanging out with us tonight in the chat. Thank you to everybody who participated in the show. We really, really appreciate and love the participation. If you're just lurking, come on, man. Start commenting. Let's start some discourse. Thank you to everyone listening to us live. Like I said, thank you to everyone checking us out in the future. Coach is already here, so it's not him. Thank you to everyone checking us out on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us at our social media links down below. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the like. You can go to youtube.com/The Broken Tables Podcast and check us out, where we are here every single Monday night for the Game Room podcast, Wednesday night for the Dynamite review, Friday night for the Rampage review, and we do pay-per-views as well. The next pay-per-view on the horizon is Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. Got to get that Curly's order ready, Jeff. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But until then, hope to see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night.
Right on, and thank you as well from myself. We love you guys in chat. Man, mine's not anywhere near me. Damn it. All right, well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Until next time, top guys, out.